So Gege just gave us a huge revelation about the Gojo versus Sukuna battle, and that was Gojo let his guard down, and that was the reason why Sukuna won. Now my question is, does that mean that if Gojo had actually dodged the original attack, he would have won against Sukuna? Because I've seen a lot of video claiming on YouTube that because of the statement that Gege said, that means Gojo automatically won the battle. Now I'm just here to talk about facts, and I'm here to talk about the whole context of what Gege said, and if that really means that Gojo would have won the battle if he had dodged the attack. Now, what is the statement that Gege said? Now, Gege said, I think Gojo probably let his guard down after defeating Maoraga. He believed that Sukuna had no way to counter Limitless. Now, please, I want you to just highlight that statement. He believed Sukuna had no counter for Limitless. Why? Because he just destroyed Maoraga. Gege also goes ahead to say that if it had been the usual Gojo, he would have dodged the attack. So now, let us say that Gojo did dodge the attack. Does it mean that he automatically wins the battle? As much as I would love to say that, I still feel that that's a big fat no. And here is why I feel so. Now, using the statement that Gege said, you would see that in that sentence, the most important thing that Gege said was that he thought at that period Sukuna no longer had a counter for infinity. Now, here is what I think would have happened naturally. Now, we know that Sukuna would have been heavily damaged, and Maoraga is gone, the 10 shadows are gone. And we also know that because of the black flash that Gojo had been hitting Sukuna with, he was slowly but surely recovering his reverse course technique, and hopefully with that he would have been able to recover his domain expansion. But here is the caveat. Now, I think that going forward, what Sukuna would have done, which would have been the most logical thing, he would have returned back to his Heian form. And when he did that, here is where the biggest problem for Gojo comes from. The fact that Sukuna, upon reverting back to his Heian form, not only would it be at 100%, but his stamina would have been back. Now, the only thing that Sukuna would not have at that period would have been reverse course technique and domain expansion. But Sukuna still has access to the universal cleave, and here is the biggest thing. We all know that with the way Sukuna was proficient in using it, because we already saw how he used it against someone like Kashibo, he would have definitely at one point caught Gojo. And let's be honest with ourselves, this is a Sukuna that has regained his stamina versus a Gojo that is heavily losing his stamina even though he's regaining his course technique. Now, there is a probability that Gojo would land a black flash, but here is why I think that is not possible, because like I said, Sukuna would have recovered his stamina, and at that point, when reverting back to his Heian form, he would be more physically powerful than he was when he was Meguna. Now, here is what I want to say. Even though Gege stated that, he never stated that Gojo would have won the battle. It was even stated in the manga that Sukuna was holding back by Gojo, and later in the chapter we saw what Gojo was talking about, the fact that Sukuna could regain his stamina and the fact that he could revert back to his Heian form. Now, this is not me trying to bash on Gojo. I love Gojo as a character, but this is just me trying to draw their attention back to what it really is. And I believe that at the end of the day, Sukuna would have won that battle. Now, this is just my opinion. If you feel that I'm wrong, you can always debate with me down in the comment section. And if a lot of people are able to convince me that in fact Gojo would have won the battle because he dodged the universal cleave, then you know what, I will probably make a video saying that probably Gojo would have won. But currently I believe that with everything that we have, with all the information that we have, it would be so disingenuous to think that Gojo would have still won that battle. And that is just what I feel. But here is what I feel. I would love to hear your opinion down in the comment section. And yeah, that will be all for today's video, guys. I'm really looking forward to your thoughts and opinion, and I'll see you guys later.